Mark, can you hear me? All right.
Mark, you're on mute, so you'll just need to unmute.
Whenever you're ready, Mark. Okay, well, in the meantime, if you have any comments, I guess, then you can certainly put some comments down in the comments section there, or the chat section. Feel free to chat, preferably in the Pathable instead of the Zoom if you're using Zoom, but I think it works better in Pathable from what I understand. Joe, can you hear me?
Joni's turned off mute as well.
Mark, we see you, but you're on mute if you're trying to say something.
Rich, did you ask if I was available? You kind of were breaking up, so I don't know if you said my name.
Yes, I did, Joe. We can't seem to get hold of Mark, so go ahead, and if you want to go ahead and talk, then go ahead.
All right, yeah, fire in the hole then. All right, let's see here. I'm gonna share my screen. All right, let's see, cancel that. Let's see. Are you all, does everyone see my screen here?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, okay. So just let me know if you have trouble hearing me or if I'm breaking up or anything. So I hope everyone's happy and healthy here. It's kind of a little bit different venue this year. And for some of you that may not know me, I'm Joe Daniel. I've been around since 2006. Working with the hunting and fishing outdoor recreation programs for the DoD. And what I'm going to try to focus on today is two things: features and reliability for rec access. I'm going to start my timer here too. All right. So this slide here, I'm gonna try to explain it with a car analogy. When you buy a car, you're paying a lot for that. What's inside that engine? You want a good, reliable engine. You're also paying for features if you want navigation or electric windows and that other stuff. You pay for features. And also, when you buy a car, you want a company that's gonna be responsive and back up their stuff. And that's what this slide here is about. So me and my two business partners, we've been working together since 2006. And we originally started out by building the DoD a hunting and fishing program that met their needs. So we have a lot of history. We have a lot of knowledge about how the programs work. We're not just another software company. So we are growing quite rapidly, as you can see from the numbers there. We're probably getting about 6 or 7 new clients on average a year. So I'm just trying to emphasize the fact that we're gonna continue to be here. We're not going anywhere. And our main client is the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, and now the DoD. We're starting to get more and more contracts and folks coming with the DoD. And what that means is, as we continue building new features, everyone who is a current client, they're going to get access to that features. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of now go to the next slide, explain some of those features. So our newest feature, which we're really proud of, is the SMS for law enforcement or your staff. So when you're out in the field, you know, you always don't have great cell reception, but you may not always have data, so you can't get on the internet. And then the phone might be in and out, but the SMS, if you're going to get anything, you're going to get SMS first. So what we did is we came up with this. We use SMS technology, and so game wardens or staff, when you're out there in the field, you can actually SMS. You can query rec access database for user information. Maybe you roll up on a vehicle and you just see the license plate. Well, you can go ahead and just send a text message to rec access, and it's going to spit back information about that vehicle if it's registered within rec access. Or maybe you want to see who's checked in. You just send a text message to your portal, to your rec access site, and it's going to send back who's checked in. You can also pull up information about a user on that too. And we just deployed at Camp Lejeune, so they're just starting to use this. So this is brand spanking new. Some of the other features that we have that, you know, just from hindsight, is the ability for one person to buy for others. Maybe a buddy wants to buy you a lottery ticket or buy you a permit, or maybe you have kids that you want to purchase for. Well, you can do that all in one transaction under one account. And with rec access, when you buy for someone else, it still vets that person. So if you have different controls on your products, it's okay. Each user still has to have an account. We do have a way where a user doesn't have to have an account, but for most, if a user does have an account and you use that feature, then it's going to vet that person that the one individual that's logged in is buying for another person. Split payments just means that a individual can purchase a forest product, a wood cutting product, and a site hack product together in one transaction, what appears to be one transaction on their side. Behind the scenes, we actually, rec access splits it up, going through pay.gov into different transactions. It sends it to the appropriate accounting system. But from the user's perspective, it looks like one transaction. They don't have to purchase it and go back in. And that's why rec access, it was built also to accept convenience or service fees, so kind of mimicking what states do. So maybe your program doesn't have money to pay for a yearly contract. And then we have achieved this with the DoD. You can also go ahead and negotiate a fair service fee and allow rec access to charge the users similar to the state. When you go to buy your state hunting or fishing permit, you know, you pay a service fee. All right, so to expand on the features for the SMS, I just wanted to say that we're hoping to have it done for this year, but because of compliance with folks checking out, we know it's a safety concern, and we sometimes people just forget. So we want to make sure that, first of all, they are out safe. So we are building this option where when the system already sends out automated messages, if by a certain time, if people do not check out, that means when they're leaving the woods, the system will send them a message, and it can be a text. But we are building right now the functionality where the user can just respond to the text, and that will check them out. That way, law enforcement or everyone, they know everything's clear. And then that user will still get time. You know, we're going to have a setting where the user will have time so they can go ahead and still fill out the harvest if they did harvest something, because, you know, that biological data is important. The other thing is a mobile app for permits, because when you're dealing with an online services, you know, a lot of times you have to have the internet connectivity to get a permit, to check in, to check out. But one thing that we have been working with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service and law enforcement is a lot of folks are allowing their users to instead of printing out a permit, to have digital permits or license, whatever you want to call it. So we're having an app that's going to store all the users' permits. So that way, if they're out in the field and they have no connectivity, they can still pull up the permit and then some other information too. Okay. I'm going to go ahead real quick and just demonstrate a couple things. All right. So first one I just want to show is when you go into Rec Access, I don't have an account here. I'm not logged in right now, but I still can go ahead and see all the permits that are available. And that's because we don't filter the permits because of one user can buy for another user. But if let's say I want to go ahead and get a permit, I'm going to go blowgun fuzzy bear hunting. That's an acknowledgement. Yes, I am certified. I'm going to add to my cart. And I'm going to go ahead and buy my buddy a permit too. So go ahead here and I'll just demonstrate the ability to buy for another user. And this one we have it configured. So this user here, you do have to know their unique number. And just to make sure that you have everything correct, we do make you put in their initials. Still have to answer the question. Okay. So that's it. So I'm going ahead. I secured those permits. I should be receiving an email. My buddy will receive an email too, and the permits are in their account. But now that I have that permit, I can go ahead. I'm going to check in and out for this activity. So I'm gonna go blowgun bear hunting. This here is kind of cool. Some of our clients are using this, and they have gates. So they have gates with numeric locks on them, like we have the roll lock. So they go ahead and they change it up every month. So they give them out as it's when someone checks in at the end. So I'll just go ahead and select this area, and there it is. There it shows. So now I can go open that gate up. And now what I wanted to show was the one feature I said you can upload photos. So let's pretend I went ahead and I harvested. So I did harvest. I got myself a fuzzy bear. Now, did the bear have dew claws? We have a lot of biologists here, so we should all know this answer. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and requirements. If I harvest anything, you're supposed to load up what you harvested. You got to take pictures of it. So here's the fuzzy bear stalking me. And then here's oops, delete that one. Here's the fuzzy bear harvested. So now, yeah, I submitted the data, and this is all the front end demonstration. So that's what, and if anybody has any questions or anything, that's why I just wanted to show some of these features here. Y'all still there?
Yep, we're here.
Well, that's what I had allocated. It was about 10 minutes. So I went over a little bit. But did anybody have any questions? Or I can show stuff all day long on this. I can show some of the stuff.
Hey, Joe, it's Mark. Finally got on. We can actually just do a poll via email for any other questions if nobody wants to talk.
Okay. Yeah, real quick, I can just some of the stuff in the back end that some of the stuff that we do is it's pretty slick because we do optimize for mobile phones. So everything renders perfectly. I'd actually do a lot of the work on the mobile phone, but different things in the back end has been some of the main goals of the programmers and the color code stuff. But yeah, I'll be available to answer any questions or giving anybody a demo that would like to see further. I only demonstrated a few things on the front end. Of course, the back end, and again, I'm assuming the majority of people understand what I'm saying.
Even us in Alaska understand.
All right, so no questions.
All right, I guess now it's Mark's turn to take over because I had technical difficulties in the beginning. Now Rich is having them. I don't know how far we got with anything. Thank you, Joe. We greatly appreciate it. Anybody, if you come up with a question later on, just get it to us through the group and we can get it to Joe. So thank you very much for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, Rich, can you hear me whatsoever?
Yeah,
All right,
I
you got me?
can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, I hear you. Go ahead, Mark, because I got a bad connection.
Okay, well, I didn't hear any of the beginning, so I don't know if it's the repeat or not about what was said about the group and some thoughts going forward. So if this is a repeat, y'all, I apologize. Someone can stop me in my tracks. The goal right now is any questions or anything, please put them in email form and we'll try to get all the comments addressed. We'll see where we go from there. Did we discuss the elections yet?
Yes, we did mention that people can vote right now as we're talking on their screens there, just to the right where it says polls. So if you want to do that, you want to vote for chair, there's 2 candidates there, and you can take your pick.
Okay. Do we want to give them a chance to speak for themselves, or is the bio good enough?
Well, the email earlier this morning to the group, if they're on, if Tom is on, then he can go ahead and speak. I did see him earlier. I saw his name, and Brian can speak afterwards. So go ahead, Tom, if you want to say anything.
Okay, Tom Alexa here. I guess participating in this year's NMFWA from Virginia, Naval Weapons Station, Yorktown. I am pleased to tell everyone that I am not sitting behind my computer. I'm standing in the woods with my phone. So I hope everybody's jealous. And I say that facetiously. But anyway, I've been a natural resource manager here at the Weapons Station for about 6 years and participated with NMFWA for pretty much over a decade now throughout my career. Happy to kind of step in and try and co-chair or be a chair of the working group. I have a unique situation here at Naval Weapons Station that's kind of different from everywhere else. Since it's a weapons station, we our access is very limited to the public. Regardless, we do have a fair to good amount of outdoor recreating that goes on to the military community and their guests. It's about 15,000 acres. We do have several nature trails on base for recreating. We offer controlled hunting on the base. It's pretty much limited to Saturdays and equates to about I don't know, 47 days out of the year. Regardless of that limitations, we get about 100 to 150 participants each hunt day. And then we have a variety of fishing opportunities throughout the entire year, both for freshwater fisheries and nearshore saltwater species. So saying that, I guess I'll pass the mic on to the next person who's up. I hope everybody is all and well during this crazy past 2020 year. Over.
Okay, thanks, Tom. Brian, if you're on, go ahead and say a few words. Okay, I guess we don't have Brian with us. But anyway, you can look on the underneath the file portion and read what Brian sent me as well as what Tom sent me, and like I said earlier, just vote there where it says polls. So anyway, that's kind of all I have. We do need. I'll turn it back over to Mark. He might, as the incoming chair, he might want to solicit ideas for next year. So go ahead. Mark.
Thank you, Rich. Appreciate it. Well, first off, I want to thank Rich for his service. Thank you so much for chairing this group. Appreciate it. And thank you for taking me under your wing. Absolutely, as Rich mentioned, right now, anybody have any ideas if you want to go technical session next year, what we should put out there, what the votes are, please leave them in the comment section. Any ideas? We'll also put out an open email to anybody that may have ideas or something you ain't thinking about right now or bad service. This way we can cover all gambits. It's, an ongoing fluid situation, so we'll change accordingly as we can. But we'll make sure to put out any information via email and the change up. And with the good elections, welcome the new co-chair, and we'll go from there. About all I got.
Well, unless anyone else has, if anybody else has anything to add, then give you just a moment. And then I think we can call it good on the meeting. And thanks for your attendance and participation. All right, well, if nothing else, and I think that will conclude our recreation working group meeting for 2021. Thanks again.
Moving to adjourn.
Second.